Good heavy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Get it, 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 get it. All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Daddy's here. Yeah, 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 yeah. Get it, 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 get it. You know it. Get it, get it. All right.
I'm about to hit a lick on the industry. Anything less than real is going in with me. Oh, so with a new flow, gon' begin with me. I understand my purpose, trust the message was sent to me. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, in Jesus' name. Forget color lines on judgment day, we gon' be the same. The ones like me gon' rise and the rest gon' fall. Cause when the truth show, only the real G's can ball. Hit 'em with it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I feel good, cause all I do is speak facts. Mommy split her legs open like a Kit Kat. She want a Trill King swimming in a Kit Kat. I got it, if you want it, you can get that. The game's to be sold, not told. I can dig that, but you can't buy my sauce, you gotta live that. From where the owners, the stoners, and the pimps at, let them know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I might.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very, very special episode. I've been coming in here with smoke for a lot of people, man.
Call the fire department.
Right.
I was like, I don't know if this will ever be done, honestly.
Oh man, well you already know I'm ready. I'm ready to hear what it is.
Okay, because there's like 10 topics that are like, I was like, I need to get on here. I need to get on here. It's like, and they're like a raging fire in my soul. like a raging fire in my soul. Because I had to get y'all takes on some of these because
You got medicine for that.
Yeah. Like it's like that because it was a lot of this stuff don't make much sense. And I was like, I don't like to talk about negativity all the time, but it's like these people do it to themselves.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah,
and
man.
Like, I was trying to think of ways I could start this conversation, right? And I was like, so I asked y'all earlier, did we talk about the Jaden Daniels and Juju Watkins stuff?
Right.
And the reason why I had to ask that was because I've watched a little bit more content where they were talking about it in different things. And there's a situation that came up in the real world outside.
Okay.
And the thing is, I didn't want to talk about what I'm about to use this Juju Watkins and Jaden Daniels to lead into, because Juju Watkins and Jaden Daniels both are class acts as far as I know. They don't appear to be idiots.
Oh, no, they definitely good people, it seems.
So they don't appear to be idiots like some of the people I'm about to talk about.
No.
And then it's like, because it's like, if we talked about this on like Wednesday or Tuesday, I would have said a few different things, and that would have been what that would have been. But it got deeper and deeper the further down the rabbit hole I got.
Okay.
So we end up here because I listen to a lot of podcasts every week, and then I'm not going to touch on the Juju and them. I'm a kind of cross it into this, but I'm not gonna jump onto that side of because there's a point that ties to a completely different thing that I'm going to talk about, that I would talk about later in this video, right?
Okay. So
I'm gonna just kind of leave it where this part is, and you know what, because it's like I want to say, I'm gonna say this first. I'm gonna leave Juju and Jaden Daniels alone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give a warm thank you to Anthony Edwards for denying wanting to be the face of the NBA, because he is. And I was like, because it's like I've like because the thing is, there has never been anything quite like this before. And it's like, we talk about marketability. He is the worst. Like, we talk about marketability. He is the absolute worst player in the entire league to be the guy that we want him to be.
Not quite a role model. Huh?
He's the worst. The thing is, there's another dude that I'm about to bring it because I'm about to talk about Ja Morant in a second too, because he's gonna come up in the topic here soon. But he's not.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear real quick. So with the Antman situation, you are talking about him paying child support up front for 18 years so he don't have to be in the kid's life.
I got a few things to say about that, right?
Yeah.
So, and then because the thing is as a player, he's one of the most amazing watches you can.
And you want to like him. You want to like him.
He's a likable guy. He is. He's a likable guy. But the thing is, his personal life has been a constant thing. And then I try not to be a judgmental Negro, uppity Negro, right? But it's like
we might not have caught on to that one.
Right, but it's like, shoot, and it's like, I hate to be that guy.
Hey, you're doing your job. This is your job.
So it's like, and it's like, I hate to be that guy, but it's like, I watched because the thing is, I'm going to say from my personal perspective, the only thing that Anthony Edwards ever did that I wasn't a fan of really was, you remember, I don't know if you guys watched the documentary, they had like Obama come in and talk to the Team USA, and then he is kind of nonchalant and not really caring about who Obama was.
Oh, no, I didn't see
the gravity of that moment. But because he was like, oh, you better ask somebody. I'm this and this and that. And it's like, I respect that he said it, but it's like, sheesh, man, you got to be like a little bit humble when you have a certain type of people around you. Like,
I mean, I feel that. First black president. Yeah.
Like,
young and quite dumb.
And it's like, you can't be kind of a dickhead to that guy. Because
I hear that.
He's broken down some walls for a lot of people. And for good and for bad.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna leave that there, because it's like that kind of plays a role in it a little bit for me now too. Because I was like, that didn't kind of sit right with me when I watched the video. I thought, like, I respected that he was still him, but then I kind of was like, oh, you got to be a little bit cool. Like, be cool, man. Just chill.
I hear that.
Like,
but you saying that this kid situation just takes it over the edge for you.
Well, it does, because it's not because of the situation itself. And I sound like a terrible person saying that, but
I'm intrigued to know what it is then.
Because the thing is, I was listening to multiple different podcasts, and because it's like, and then I'm gonna start from the beginning, so I'm gonna go even further back. So on Twitter, people refer to Anthony Edwards as abortion man.
Oh man, that's terrible. You don't want to be known as that.
And that's what I'm saying, especially in this political climate.
Yeah, you don't want to be known as that. That's for sure.
I think we might have even talked about it before, that he went viral for that stuff before, and we might have touched on it just a little bit, but I don't remember fully or not. But the thing is, that is what it is, right? But then, mind you just said the story about because that went viral. He was trending on the internet, and it was like, oh, he told the judge he was going to pay all the money. And then the baby mama comes out today and was like, oh, that's completely false. Ain't none of that happened.
I mean, I would hope not. You know what I'm saying? But they said that they had it as far as they like his paperwork out there that say that he got to pay $1 million. That is $6,000 a month for however many months, 18 years.
And then the thing is, from how they made it seem, they try to make it seem like she tried to get down, and then because there's a cap in Georgia on child support you can pay. In like Los Angeles or New York or whatever, California or New York, it's infinite or whatever. But then here in Georgia, it's like capped to a certain amount. And I'm like, that's a pretty good rule that they should probably adopt in other places. Because it's like you don't need like Jimmy Butler and his situation. I think you probably talked about that too, or we might not have talked about it. But the Jimmy Butler stuff, where his baby mama acts for like 500,000 a month or something crazy like that. It's like that's ridiculous. It was like they're like it don't make no type of sense.
Yeah, that don't.
Babies have needs. They have a lot of needs.
If that's the case, they can live with me all the time.
Right? And that's what I'm saying. I was
I'll
like,
take them on.
But that was the argument then that came from that was like, oh, do you have the baby mama living in the slums, or do you and you living in the mansion, and your kids see the slum, then they go come with you and they see the mansion, and it's like, yeah, if she's not cutting her own site, you telling me I got to pay for this mug to not work because we had a kid?
Yeah, that's
when
very
she's
true.
She's not going to be the one because she's about to go hire a maid off the money that.
Well, one thing for sure is.
And then she gets to go start businesses and all of this.
Maybe you should start a business.
Right. Well, you would hope that a lot of those the people that, but that's the thing too. And then and then the reason why I bring because in the thing is I'm gonna finish Anthony Edwards off before we get to the so to finish the Anthony Edwards.
He's on life support.
Is like it's all it takes is one last bullet to the head, you know. But the whole point of it was I started listening to another podcast completely separate from sports, but they were talking about sports in this particular episode. And they were trying to say that Caitlin Clark was on a notch higher than most of the NBA players under 30 as far as people know them. And then when Anthony Edwards got brought up in that conversation, I'm going to leave it alone because I don't feel like talking about Caitlin Clark today. So they brought up the Anthony Edwards. They was like, oh, the dude that has told his girl to get an abortion and all of that and all that and all that. Like,
terrible.
The fact that when he gets brought up, that is what people are going to think about. And that's like not the bald head, like the people with the bald heads, like us in here, we're gonna know Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards. Yeah. But the commoner is gonna be like, oh, that guy that told the girl to get an abortion and all of that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, when you think about it, you know, it's kind of like your choice. It's kind of your choice if you want to be there or if you don't. You know what I'm saying? And he got it. It would be sad to not be. You know what I'm saying? Like personally, it would be sad to not be. But if it's his choice to like, look, man, I'm gonna pay you this money, $1 million. Don't ever come to me for nothing else, and don't ever say I didn't try to take care of my child. You know, he has the right to do that. You know what I'm saying? He has the right to do that. But you know what I'm saying? On a personal level.
Don't make it right, but he has the right.
Yeah, it ain't right, but he has the right. You know what I'm saying? You know, and to be honest, you know, they say he had like 4 kids in 1 year. You know what I mean?
Be ill for real.
Yeah, so he's probably like, if he ain't acting like that with all of them, you got to think about, you know, what happened between these 2 individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That made it this way. Like, like, no, I'm not dealing with her. I mean, hey, this is for that. When the child turns 18, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But until then, as long as she's a part of it, I don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that could be the big factor here. Like, what actually happened between them 2? Because if you got 4 kids with 4 different baby mamas, and you there with all the other kids, but you got a problem here, that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Right. So this got to be something that happened between them 2, and that's between them 2. You know what I mean? And you know, $1 million to him ain't nothing. He got this contract. He gonna have another contract. I just don't want it to be something where, in the world we are in today, all these kids that's watching, like, oh, I can do that. It ain't nothing but $1 million.
Right.
My contract $200 million, so I can have 100 kids and still got $100 million. Pay
One
all
less
them.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just that's the only factor here to why I would agree that he wouldn't be able to be the face of the NBA. That's the only reason why. Because he's not. I know he probably thinking the politically correct thing to do is just not speak on it. You know what I mean? But when it's all out there like that, you know what I'm saying? You got to at least be like, look, man, I ain't condoning that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't think that got nothing to do with my character. If it's my child, I'm gonna be there for him. That's
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta say, and it's over for you know what I'm saying? People can do whatever they want with that. You know what I mean? But if he just says nothing, I mean, every other post is about this right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would say like, yeah, let me say something. You know what I mean? So just so people will understand like, nah, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Or be like, yeah, there's no possible way for me to work with this woman in parenting.
It is what it is.
For real. Like, so it just is what, yeah. So, you know, I would say in this situation, since we're in the social media world, that he probably should at least, you know, either back it up or let it be known that it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And then the thing is, you just threw like 10 different alley oops, and I conversation 20 different directions off of that alone, right? Because I was like, because there's like a chunk here and a chunk there and a chunk another place.
Yeah, well, shoot, I just got off the phone with your dad, so it'd be like that after me and him talk.
Yeah, and then I was like, because I was like, I don't know if I should continue with the Ja Morant or should I sort of wrap that part up.
Yeah. However you feeling,
So I'm
gonna say Ant won't be known as Daddy Wolf.
well, the thing is because you know I have a bit more confidence in talking about the other point that because actually, shoot, should I hit Ja before we go to that? I'm gonna do Ja Morant. I'm gonna do Ja Morant and the Juju and the Jaden Daniels, right?
Let's hear it.
Well, I'm gonna do them all right now. I'm gonna kind of shoot right now.
All right.
I'm gonna put bad juju on Juju.
Shoot, and then that's the thing about it too. The thing is, I was listening to another podcast that was talking about Ja Morant. I think it was Nick Wright's podcast with his son that he does.
Okay.
And they were talking about Ja Morant. And I was like, man, Ja Morant was the guy before Anthony Edwards, but he destroyed everything and then doesn't play. And I'm like, Ja Morant is essentially, he's the problem. Now, this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound really crazy because I'm about to make a broad statement. It's a broad. I got to preface. This is a broad statement, and not exactly. It's not specific to this particular individual, but it's an example.
Okay.
And this. I got like 4 or 5 ways to go off this too. So Ja Morant is the problem with the black youth of today.
Oh man,
because how Eminem say Clarence had good parents or something like that. Clarence had good parents.
Yeah, Clarence was in the hood trying to act like a gangster, but he went to private school for real.
And Morant he's just and unfortunately for him, in his case, I wish it could just be the health that's stopping him from being the guy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they have a stigma against him now for all the gun stuff. So him and Buddy Hield pew at each other.
Yeah.
Now it looks crazy because we literally punished you for having a firearm.
Right. So I mean, who shot first?
I was not watching the game.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta know who shot first.
and then that's another thing. But I'm about to kind of link this to another statement I was gonna make. So we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone here with that, right? So with Ja Morant being the cataclysm of the problem with the black youth, right? Is to make the NBA.
Hold on. Don't forget what you're saying.
Oh,
all right. Who to the hood? who shot first matters. Was it him or was it Ja Morant? Okay. But because of in the corporate world, face of the NBA world, it don't matter who shot first because of the prior record of what you already done. Because we ain't seen no footage of Buddy Hill shooting, but we done seen all the footage of Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? Like
Buddy
every
was on
other
the bench,
post.
wasn't he?
Every
Buddy was
other
on the
post.
bench. Ja was in the middle of the floor.
All right. Ja was at half court.
On the Grizzly logo shooting.
So he's automatically guilty in that world, you know what I'm saying? But to the hood, it matters who shot first. You could have shot 100 people for the last 100 days, but that day that you got caught, and y'all shooting back and forth, who shot first? You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. But since we don't know, we got to go off of him being an idiot because he knows his history, so he shouldn't even be doing that.
It was Ja first.
Oh, well.
I just looked at the clip because I
confirms his idiocy.
No, I don't know. It was it's because it was a double thing because Ja was quick with it, right? Because Buddy did it and
he got experience.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
fastest gun in the West.
Bro, he immediately shot back. Like, dog put his hands up and he immediately got him back. Like, it wasn't no hesitation. He immediately put the fingers back.
Oh, man.
And then Curry was snitching on him. Like, what is this? And both of them got a technical.
Yeah, meet me at high noon. That's where they at.
Riflemen. They were teammates, man.
Yeah, he got to know better. Even if he was provoked, he got to know better.
It's hilarious. I feel bad for him after that, honestly. Because it's like, and then that's the thing, and then we could, like, that's a whole nother parlay right there. Yeah. Like, you literally you could, like, I swear to you. And honestly, actually, I can give credit where credit's due. That granddad in the passing, that must be genetic because I was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I did throw some dimes last time I was hooping.
It's in there. Gotta let it out.
Right.
It was like, hey, played in like almost a year of throwing dimes, you know?
Yeah. But, hey, you'll realize sooner than later, that's all you're gonna be able to do is throw dimes and shoot threes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was Ja Morant, man. I'm still a big fan of Ja Morant, and I wish that he would be healthy and could be the superstar that we all need for the future. Because, like I just said, when what was it? The Olympics were around. I wanted Ja and Zion and all of them to come and be on Team USA for us to have a good run. Because it's like our superstars, our best American guys can't play. The only dude that can play is Anthony Edwards, and then the rest of the B team.
Man, yeah, they not doing a good job.
Yeah, like they're literally failing.
Ain't the next Olympics is in LA, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, they can't go there. They can't go there. They can't go there. You got to check in and do all type of stuff. So Ja Morant, nope, you're in danger. And trying to prove you're gangster out there around real gangsters. And Antman, nope, it's too much tail running around there for you, for Antman.
Ain't got enough millions.
Right. Like he's gonna ride, them pockets gonna get real slim, real fast.
Well, the thing about
You'll
that
be staying in the hood.
Can't just do that over here.
Oh no. Oh
yeah,
no,
if you do it in LA,
they know they worth over there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's the only reason he's free here on this occasion is because they conceived that baby in Georgia.
Right.
If he goes in LA and scurries on and touches something in LA, they about to put it on him.
Right. In LA, man, in that Hollywood world, they know their worth is whatever's in your pockets.
Right. and
I don't deserve any of this, but I'm gonna get it.
And
seriously.
And then to kind of bring it to a close because we got everything there. To bring it back to Juju and and bring it back to Juju and Jaden White. That's the Anthony Edwards is the reason why his mama is doing that. The reason why she is shutting it down is that for this entire Anthony Edwards, the entire Tyreek Hill, the entire really the whole NFL. Most of the NFL dudes, they got 20 kids. You know.
Yeah.
Like I heard Ocho Cinco was joking on Shannon Sharp. He was talking about the same topic. I was like, oh, might have me some more kids, but he's an active father at that though. But you don't want somebody coming and then taking your son for all his work. Now the thing about that though, with Juju, that probably wouldn't be a problem because she has a career that she has to focus on. But she is being a little bit overprotective there. But she got killed online by those guys. And I'm not going to go into because we won't get off the ground if I say could say. So,
man, I mean, I see what you're saying, like with his moms, but she could show in that situation. Shoot, she got her own cheese. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like that's what his moms would be happy. Let me get you to somebody who ain't gold digging. You know
right. Well, you know,
she ain't trying to get pregnant either.
Right. Oh no, she got a career to protect.
And the thing is unless the thing is I don't know if because the grandkids thing comes into play there. Because it's like, oh, does she want grandkids when he's still younger, or does she want somebody that's like a child, like you want if you're Christian and highly religious, you want them to marry another Christian, highly religious type, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want them marrying nobody who's gonna be lost forever. You know what I'm saying? You want it to be somebody who at least is a believer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
And then you just threw another oop right there. Is we literally talked about Drea and Jalen Green and LaMelo Ball and his girlfriend and all PJ Washington, and he was with Brittany.
Man, yeah.
And it's like now he's happy and in a relationship, and Brittany is solo, or she trying to mess with Kevin Gates now. But I wish this is not a gossip podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I see
that's a rumor on the street is what it is.
I get it, but it doesn't work with Juju though, because she's got her own training that she has to do. She got her own money she going after. You know what I'm saying? His mama, I think his mom was more of trying to protect, you know what I mean, just trying to protect image and wanted to be all about football with him. You know what I'm saying? So,
well,
he said anything? His mom said anything?
I mean, his mom only said that she ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? She ain't said nothing about that situation with Juju.
It was a long time ago. She said no, a long time ago.
Yeah, it was, but she made it clear that like they got to go through her process to get close to him, and ain't nobody getting close to him right now.
And
so it was just funny for her to sit in between them like that. But to be honest, shoot, maybe that was her seat.
Awkward and stuff.
For real, you want to be next to my son. You want to be next to my son. You dang sure can't sit in my seat.
Now it is a little bit crazy because he's 23 or 20, like he's 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
You know, but
old enough to know better.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you would hope so. You know, like we was talking about before, when all this NIL money and stuff started coming about, you're gonna see a lot of people that's trying to shield you away from life. Because you are now their object of hustle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So sure, he might not know much about anything. And his mom might know, like the first girl that really gets in his ear is going to control him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I mean, I should. Hey, I see it. I see it with my son. You know what I'm saying? I see it. Yeah, like RJ, the first girl that come in trying to manipulate RJ mind. If I ain't having real talks with him, he's goner.
I'm off to San Francisco.
right. So, you gotta, but where's dad at?
Right.
Yeah. I guess like, man, yeah. That's where That's where the real question is at. Where's his dad at? You know what I mean? I hope that he's around. I hope he's still alive and all of that. I hope he's in his son's life. And if he is, he need to step into that role. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mama done what she can do.
yeah, your mom, like, look what somebody who was similar was Eli Apple's mom. You know what I'm saying? And she was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he the cornerback. I don't even know what team he on now because he keep getting shipped around because nobody took him serious once his mama started getting into business. You know what I mean?
He plays for the Chargers right now.
You say what?
He played for the Chargers.
You said for the Chargers?
Oh, they said he is a free agent right now, but he used to play.
See?
Bouncing around, seeing the world.
Yeah, he done been to Cincinnati. He done been here. He done to New York. He done, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can't let your mama do these types of things. You know what I'm saying? So where your dad at? I see with Marshawn Lynch. It was somebody when they was at his football camp. One of the mamas got mad. I guess her kid got hit too hard or something. And she went up to Marshawn Lynch like, "What are you doing? Why are you talking to the kids, cussing at them like that?" Marshawn Lynch was like, "Is his dad here?" I can't even talk to you about this. Is his dad here? Is this dad or the man in your life here right now? You know what I'm saying? And she going off. I don't need no man to speak for me. Well, you ain't gonna understand what I got to say.
Yeah, speaking French.
For real.
But yeah, and then with that, to close that, right? To finish the Ja Morant portion, because I was like, because I didn't really finish it. I just said the broad statement. And the reason why I said that broad statement is because Anthony Edwards is what Anthony Edwards is, and Ja is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few that exist in this realm, but the era. This is because I was like, how do I say this the cleanest way I can say it? Because there was a thought I was having earlier because I was like, Ja Morant.
Sar just got that assist I needed him to get. Yeah. Yeah. Cha-ching. But yeah, Ja Morant.
So the reason why I said that Ja Morant is that, but the thing about Ja Morant and him and Anthony Edwards are YNs, I should say. Yeah. So, and that's what Black men are at the moment. That's what our youth are.
Yeah, they're trending. Yeah, calling them YNs, young niggas. Yeah.
That's what they want.
That's trending, right? and they trying to make it cute. You know what I'm saying? You know, and no, it's not cool. It's not cool, and that goes back to what I was saying. You know what I mean? Like,
only other option, right? That's and then is because like I just talked about those guys that just gave Jada Daniels mama crap. There are the individuals that they would consider the lames.
Yeah.
The people that aren't really the cornballs.
Yeah.
That probably don't particularly like that group of women. And there's a scarcity of the real niggas, should I say?
I get that.
With the Curry and Durant's and all them dudes that grew up as Black youth, the non-crash out variant, I should say.
Yeah.
Those are becoming more and more scarce.
Yeah, I'm just
or lames coming in and growing.
Yeah, I'm getting so. Yeah, it's like they're painting the picture right there on social media and everything. Every other post, yep, it's something that's degrading. You know what I mean? All that game that Ant Edwards did the other night to beat the Nuggets in double overtime. You know what I'm saying? All of that. You know what I'm saying? They not showing none of that, and they showing all of this. Is every other post is negative. YNs negative, like, oh man, an old man acts like this, or YN acts like this, like trying to make it seem like that's the cool way to go. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they trying their hardest to pull you away from your royalty. For real. Ain't no nigga gonna be no king. That's just what it is. You ain't gonna be able to see yourself as you're not going to be able to see yourself as somebody who can be degraded for real. Because if you let them call you what they want to call you to the point where you calling yourself that, you know what I'm saying?
And believe in it.
For real, you're never gonna grow into who you were created to be. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of people be like, man, we say the word so we can take his power back and all this, man. You need to grow into the royalty you were created to be. And that's the bottom line of it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, they have to accept you for the royalty that you were created to be. That's what it is. And if you're around people who will lessen you in any type of way or make you feel like you're not enough, so you got to act a certain type of way, because that's what Ja Morant doing. I want to hang with these people, but when I'm being myself, they not feeling me. You know what I'm saying? So let me fool myself into thinking that I act like this. But man, you ain't comfortable having to look over your shoulder all the time. You already got to look over your shoulder because you already got to look over your shoulder because you're a young star. For real. Why you want to add on to the problems? For real. Why you want to do that? You know what I mean? So it's not cool. For real. And like I said with Antman, the younger athletes coming up seeing that, you know what I mean? He need to make a statement to kill that. So the people that are his fans know that he ain't like that. Because these fans worship the ground that these players walk on when they young. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I want them shoes. Man, I want that jersey. Man, I want to be just like them. I want to be at his camp. I want to be at his games. You know what I'm saying? And he doing this, and I want to do that. For real.
Might have to make one of them Charles Barkley commercials. I am not a role model.
And what
like, for real.
thing is like, even with him, like, because it's like, I don't want to make it try to seem like I'm trying to tell somebody. Because the thing is, you don't have to be one of these. Because how do I say? Because a lot of you have to be Lord Farrakhan. What is it, Ralph Farrakhan? You don't got to be Farrakhan.
And Minister like, Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, like you don't have to be the pro-blackest of all the pro-black. Like you don't have to be what the narratives of what these people are going to paint. You don't have like you could be like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for an example. You never seen his wife in public.
Yeah,
but you know what her skin tone might be.
Yeah, you know.
But the thing was, he stood up and fought alongside brothers and sisters to make a better place for us.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, you don't have to be a lame to get your point across, or be honest.
And shoot, being you ain't lame, man.
Right.
For real. Being you ain't lame. You know what I mean? And the real you, come on, man. Like, the real you, $200 million contract. Why are you carrying a gun?
Right.
I got $200 million. I'm good. I don't need to carry a gun because this person right here is trained and everything that has to happen. You guys can't get within any amount of feet of me because I got like, come on, man. Like, this is crazy. And you already know, like, hey, the same way I said De'Aaron Fox was my guy out of that draft, Ja Morant, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see this man win. I want to see this man get rings. The way he played the game, unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? But, man, you can't tarnish your legacy by leading kids into thinking that this is cool. For real.
And then
it's not good. It's not okay.
And then you know what's fun here? What's really fun about that is we could finish it by segueing into another topic that really was the one that sent me over the moon. And like, because the thing is, when he started talking about it made me so unbelievably angry because
he spoke about it.
Who?
Oh, you said who started talking about it?
It's not Ja Morant. It's rolling from the Ja Morant.
All right, well, hold on. Yeah, let me say one more thing about the Ja Morant thing.
Yeah.
All right. Curry's face when he did it.
Yeah.
And Draymond, like, you know what? I'm not gonna act like guys don't hit the three and do this. Turn to your bench, do that all day. Okay? It felt different when Ja Morant did it. Okay? It was like, man, come on, man. You know better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't those guys. You can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Typically, they're not pointing the gun at another person. It's to the floor.
Well, see, and this is my biggest point. Well, shoot, nah, I done seen them dudes turn directly around to the coach of the other team. like, you don't let a scrub hit a three. Oh man, he going crazy. He pulling the arrow from behind. Yeah. But yo, at that moment when Curry was looking like that, and when Draymond was looking like that. This is what makes me sick about everything, social media, everything. Draymond should have grabbed Ja Morant, took him for a quick little walk to the other side of the court, and let him know why. Hey, yo, you out of order because of this, man. Keep your legacy together. You know what I'm saying? Now, would they try to give Draymond a tech for trying to be a good guy? You know what I'm saying? Right. But to be like to be offended by it,
they might not get a tech for anything.
Yeah. Well, shoot, then Curry should have did, because Curry just looking like he trying to get the ref's attention. Like, did you see what he did? Like, man, they do that all the time. They do that all the time. What you were supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? And this is where the lames could have. Now that's lame.
Yeah.
trying to get the ref's attention to get a tech. That's lame because if Moses Moody hits a three, he gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna say nothing to him. You ain't saying nothing to Buddy Hield, none of them. So what Curry should have did was go to Ja Morant, like, yo, this bigger than the game, man to man. Yo, you gonna put your family and your legacy in danger by being childish. Let's cut that out. Let's cut that out. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something else. If you want to do the three to the head or something like that, be my guest. But out of everybody in this league, you can't do that because that looked bad on you and it looked bad on us. You know what I'm saying? So, and the fact that they couldn't do a moment that was bigger than the game and they just got to sit there and look like they're offended. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hate. That's what I hate about today's world.
That was some sick stuff they did. Because
I just can't stand that. I can't stand that.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and we could use that to segue to something else later on too. But
yeah. What's going on? What's going on?
So really, what kind of it? Because the thing is, this has already had a real world effect that's affecting legacy and different things, right?
Okay.
And just going off how you just said, because you literally slam dunked the oop I threw right then, just then, because you kind of brought the point back around to where it needed to be. Because I was kind of in the middle of something there. So to bring back up where I was going with that, because the thing is, this individual is big, dumpy, and irresponsible, and running his crap on ESPN every day.
Okay.
And as I used to defend him back in the day, but the stuff he's pulled this week has been absolutely ridiculous. And the stuff he's been pulling for the last few years is ridiculous because it's already doing stuff that's harmed people's legacy already. It might have made one guy's legacy, but it harmed another, but it probably won't matter soon, but depending on how this kind of rolls out, right?
Okay.
And the reason why I bring this up is you just threw the oop to me because this is going to come back to LeBron James.
Okay. All right.
So with LeBron James and the Stephen A, they had a worse fall out from the last time we discussed whatever we discussed about.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to really talk about that too much because Stephen A did take stuff quite a bit far, but I'm not even going to dignify that.
Nah, he did. He did because he did a whole hour and more show when LeBron only spoke on him for about 15 seconds. For real. So, yeah, he was all the way out of order.
And then proved the guy that he just did all that ranting on about right at that.
Yeah.
You just proved him right.
Yeah.
Like, you went on Sean Hannity. You went on Gil's Arena. You talked to my people about me.
Yeah.
And then you're expecting me to be cool still. But it's not about Stephen A in particular. But he has a role in this because he tried to jump on that crap when Dog tried to pull this again, right?
Yeah.
And my problem with the particular individual, because I'm rambling right now, is Kendrick freaking Perkins, bro.
Oh
He
man,
is
come
like
on.
and it's like I can't believe how stupid and how irresponsible he is being on ESPN with some of the takes he is pulling off. Like, because he's like he tried to make like, and then he started the narrative that a bunch of fools tried to take and run with on the internet because there's all sorts of goofy.
What'd he say?
So he got on ESPN and then tried to imply because Steve Nash is on the new season of Mind the Game with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, why didn't you pick a black guy to be next to you? And then they were like, oh, why did you go on Pat McAfee and not give that spot to a black person?" Now, he didn't say the black person part about that specifically.
Yeah, but he was trying to
But it was an implication. And Steven tried to jump behind it too with but he's hating right now. So, and has all the hate in the world for that guy. So I'll let him live because he's in the middle of a beef with him. But Kendrick Perkins has done this more than once, where he has tried to ruin somebody's legacy or somebody's reputation by raping ESPN.
He is 100% out of bounds with LeBron on this one. 100%.
It's not even about LeBron at that point for me, because it's like, the thing is, he says all that while he's shilling for ESPN at that. But that's another conversation. It is the fact that he did this and he literally cost Nikola Jokic the MVP in 2023 because his narrative that he ran that caused, I guess, all the voters because, we're covering a black league, so we got white guilt.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's back when I used to watch him.
And it's like he cost Nikola Jokic of MVP that he was probably going to win. But everything changed overnight when he said that on ESPN, and then all the white guilt kicked in. And
he definitely was an advocate for Embiid to.
And I wanted Embiid to win the MVP, but I knew it was nasty then.
Yeah,
because that's terrible that he's doing that type of stuff on ESPN. But we're gonna really sit up and race bait about LeBron James, who went on Pat McAfee and literally said, "I've been trying to set and then this is go back to John Morant and Anthony Edwards. I've been trying to set the example for these young dudes. I never got in any trouble. I never did this and I never did that to set the example for some of these young guys. And nobody follows the example of the good guy."
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's well, I mean, for him to say that, okay, to go back with the Nash thing, like Nash is somebody who coached in the league for, somebody that you could replace JJ with on the show that didn't have a lot of coaching experience, but played the game at a level that you could respect. You know what I'm saying? Well, really with Nash, you can more than respect it. The man's a beast on the court. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? JJ Redick, you can respect it. You know what I'm saying? But Nash, monster. You know what I'm saying? So he already got the player coach angle with JJ Redick last season. This season, he wants the retired player that was around the players after the game. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a little bit of coaching in, you know what I'm saying? So I see why he would pick him. But if LeBron took all of his basketball players that he played with in high school, and none of the black players was the ones he was starting businesses with today, then Kendrick Perkins would have a point. You know what I'm saying? But like we said, every single person that LeBron put on from his childhood is a player in the game now, like a big time player in the game of entertainment.
And then that's added to the point how
if they make the call, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that to the white boys on his team at the end of the bench. He did that for his homies that he grew up with. And you know what? Ain't no undoing that. Ain't no undoing that. He can put 1,000 white people on the show. He ain't never got to have a black guest. For real. What he did for the families of black people. For real. What he did for the future of those black people that they are going to bring up through their organizations. we're going to be witness to it for the rest of our lives. It's going to go on and on and on and on and on. It's not going to stop. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that for the white boys. For real. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. He did that for his people. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna have shows that ain't got nothing to do with basketball. They're gonna be executive producing the coolest movies that ain't got nothing to do with basketball. Like they are crossing over into a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't even speak on that. Anything that got to do with anything like LeBron or sell out in any way, he don't need to be speaking on that. For real. For real. Because he didn't bring him on the show. If LeBron don't want me on the show, I'm going to give him that real. That's what he want. That's what Kendrick want. Man, sit down somewhere.
Shoot. And then
who you want to hear talk about the game? Kendrick Perkins or Steve Nash? I would rather listen to Steve Nash.
Yeah.
For real. You know what I mean? Like, that's just where it's at. Kendrick Perkins, I don't care if he got a ring with Boston. I don't care. For real. If I want to learn about, if I'm taking my kids to learn how to hoop from somebody, I'm going to Nash before I go to Perkins. For real. So talk about that. Talk about who you going to put on the game that played point guard. Who you going to put on the show that played point guard at a higher level than Steve Nash? You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to get Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody like that. That got that bigger cat. More people going to watch it if Iverson is on there. And Iverson can speak to somebody that was a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, who, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on, man. He got the right person on the show.
I would have to pose a question there, though. Would Allen Iverson really be X and O's guy?
Oh no, he ain't gonna be an X and O's guy, but he gonna be put the ball in the hole guy.
I mean, because the thing is, that's the premise of the show is X and O's, right?
Yeah. So you're not gonna get a better X and O's guy, you know what I mean, than Steve Nash.
Dude that was just the coach a couple of years ago.
I mean, unless I mean Chris Paul's still playing. You know what I mean?
And if Chris Paul would want to do it, he probably could jump on there one day.
And you got to think of somebody who's not going to be biased to, you know, LeBron obviously it's a soft spot for him to hear people talking about the game is not as tough as it was in the 80s and 90s. So he wants somebody that played, you know, he really trying to tell that in, like somebody who played in the 90s a little bit. And you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Absolutely.
Cater to my ego a little bit. Let me know the game is, you know, still tough.
Well, you know what? I can actually parlay that point to another point eventually. But I took Kendrick Perkins a bit more.
Yes, please do.
Because it's like the fact that he sit up and do some stupid stuff like that when somebody created a school, when how you just said he put on all his homies,
all of them,
and it's like he has been a voice speaking out for issues, and then he's took a stance politically of what the people, quote unquote, would run with at least what 90% of the voters who voted for. like how do you call somebody a sellout that gave you a job? Because he was on a couple of Cavs rosters that he should not have been on.
It's crazy.
He was not going to make a difference, and we gave that nigga the job.
It really is insane, man. It really is.
SNL, they had a sketch. They said they made a joke back in 2018, the other Cavaliers or something like that.
Right.
Had people come out and it was random, like Childish Gambino was in the Cavs jersey. It was quite that roster.
Wow.
Like that whole sketch was about him pretty much. Like
that's
the
crazy.
only thing he did in his when he played for Cleveland, the only thing he did, he got in an argument with Curry in Game 2 of the finals, and caused him to shoot the lights out for the rest of the night. So you hurt the team by being quite literally.
Stuff like that crazy, man. Stuff like that crazy. I don't even know why I speak on it. Oh yeah.
And then he, mind you, the thing is, I wouldn't be so mad because the thing is, it was a situation. It's like, shoot, I was rooting for Embiid too, and I wanted Embiid to win the MVP, but we literally race baited the MVP away from Nikola Jokic, who won the MVP before and the MVP after.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, are we really like, and then you're gonna try to pull the card with a guy that gave you a job, that put all his homies on. And then actually, as a matter of fact, and I hate all the political weirdos that like to jump on the different stuff, but I have to make this point known, is that a lot of white people think that LeBron doesn't like white people. So
wow.
Uncle Tom, where the people that he's being an Uncle Tom for think that he doesn't like them.
Wow, where would that even come from? Yeah, that's just weird. That's weird. That's weird.
So the people that he would be selling out to believe he doesn't like them.
I think he made his point though. He said they always looking for something to bring him down because he has been an upstanding guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And then the crazy thing, that the stuff he got the most flack for, which he discussed, he was like, "Oh, I made $1 million some for kids doing that by having ESPN special." So it's like, shoot, I can't even really be mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron,
millions for the Boys and Girls Club.
Right. When he made that decision, he was doing it for charity. You know what I'm saying? He was still young then, so it was somebody who's probably pulling the strings, trying to get their hustle on. You know what I'm saying? And it sounded like a good idea. Like he said, he never had his college moment where he got to choose the college he wanted to go to, and he felt like that was that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, hats off to you. You know what I'm saying? And now what he's doing with his son, like, I don't see that as a bad thing to do that. Shoot, you the leading scorer all time in the league. You can put your son on the team even if he didn't play in college.
Right.
I don't play basketball, Dad. So what? You gonna sit on the bench? Or like, some stuff is just ridiculous, man.
Yeah. And to add further to that point, he's like second in like everything in the playoff. Second, and he's first in like points and then top 5 in literally every category at every stat. Yeah. It's insane work. But off of the LeBron stuff, to
say exactly what you were saying, because you had asked me something when my headphones went out.
Okay, well I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
Is the olden days versus today's days. I have a matter of fact point that is essentially factual. It's factual. It's the truth. And the honest to God truth is that sometimes the younger guys are right, but the older guys are right too. And I have proof of why the older guys are gonna be right, and I'll get to that in a second. Because the thing is like, if you plop a 70s player in today's game, it's gonna take them a little bit till they get caught up to speed.
Yeah, I hear that.
It wouldn't and then probably they'd be like, this is not even the same sport that I'm playing at this point with all the but you know, and I think Stephen A brought up something the other day, it might have been today, that he was saying that a dude from the 70s said that Steph Curry would only average like 17 points if he played in the 70s, and pretty much came up with every excuse basketball wise to try and diminish him. Well, it wasn't even basketball wise, because the thing is, and then that's kind of been my issue with how, because the older guys, they could prove their point by not being wrong about what they're talking about, because they and they will be very right if they just said the right stuff.
I hear that.
And it's like, because the thing is like, if I give Bob Cousy, because he's been popular the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they always bringing him up.
I give Jerry West, if I let them have free reign with the basketball and then have them learn how a lot of our guys learn, or give them the fun, because you know and then the thing is, they prove JJ Redick's point sometimes, because they was like, oh, if we had other jobs, if we could have focused on hoop, we would have been better. And like, okay, well, if you could have focused on hoop, you'd have been better. But you just said that the point that JJ Redick was making was that the fireman and the milkman was hooping. And it's like,
Plummer was a 6 man.
Right. And then that's the thing is you guys paved the way for the guys now to get paid all this money. You left the game. You know how they say leave the game better than you found it. And they did that tenfold.
Yeah.
Now it might have been more Magic and Bird because they saved the league. That's the narrative.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Magic and Bird.
So it's like, so the thing is like for them to continuously kind of crap on the newer, and the thing is like you're coming up with the reasons, and then that's the thing about how the Jordan arguments was always, oh, this guy and that guy couldn't play back in the day because we wouldn't play basketball, we would literally just hit them, and it's like, so you're telling me that one of the most amazing athletes we have ever seen, like a LeBron James who's built like Karl Malone, who was a Kevin Durant who's 7 foot, who can dribble, can shoot with any hand, and
I guess that's crazy.
You're telling me those guys couldn't play back then? Because I was kind of like, and then because it's like Tracy McGrady was talking about one-on-ones and different things, and it's like, honestly, if I put LeBron James in a one-on-one scenario with anybody, it's literally, and then this is probably the same for everybody in the NBA, unless like they really are a bum shooter. If I give whoever the ball first, they're going to score all 11 and the game is going to be over. And then if I flip it the other way, it might be vice versa.
Make it take it.
Yeah, quite literally. Make it take it. It's literally going to just be an avalanche on whoever's side if I give them the ball and then they're on the run, you know? Yeah. So it's like, and we're talking about number one talent of all time. And then that's that, and then this is one of the narratives that people like Skip and them painted to diminish that guy is, oh, he doesn't have a bag and all of this stuff. And it's like, if I scored the most points ever, and then I've scored the most points ever, then that's literally the point they're made.
Yeah.
And then even his biggest critic says he's the greatest driver of the basketball ever. Skip Bayless said LeBron is the greatest driver in the history of basketball, right?
Yeah.
And then the thing about him too is, if you go over that, is it's like, is it really just dribbling into shooting and that's considered the bag? Or it's like, if I could finish with either hand in a infinite multiples of ways. Like I could right hand scoop, right hand behind the head, make the layup. 2 hands behind the head, make the layup. Like if I could make any shot.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy when they make the comparison. You know what I'm saying? When they try to do that, because it's like, if we just talking about Steph, period, like, man, his dad played. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely could have played. You know what I'm saying? His dad played. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be serious here. Okay, so, you know, that's Spud Webb played. You know what I mean? Now, Spud Webb was more athletic or whatever, but come on now. For real. So I'm not even gonna get into that. I think the problem is they don't think it could be both. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't think that they can give props to who came before them and keep their respect as well. But really, they could, you know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the old guys. But you got to think about it. Big Daddy Kane, you know what I mean? Like KRS-One. They're not going to say that the Baby and Lil Baby and them are better rappers than them. It'll never happen. And the Baby and Lil Baby gonna be like, man, them boys boring, man. We don't want to hear that 80s crap. So this is it's par for the course.
Right.
This is just in competition. This is what it does. But when they see each other, it's gonna be all love and hugs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get off my lawn, Drew.
Right. But when it's the competition of it, why they act like that. How you feel about that, Pops?
Oh, I mean, they could play it any year. Most of them guys could. I was looking at the game the other day. They had an early 90s game on, just as a flashback. There wasn't no physical, nobody getting taken down, wasn't no hand checking going on, you know. It was just like today's game, only today's game's a little faster because these guys are uber athletes,
Yeah.
So I don't see any difference in it, I think back then, and especially 60s and 70s, they playing in them old Converse,
Yeah.
didn't have the training methods, they got shoes now that jump for themselves, basically,
Yeah. You're right.
Imagine playing 3 games back to back like they used to in the 60s and trying to wear Converse out there. I don't know how they did it.
Mm.
Like you see all of them with the knees wrapped, thighs wrapped, everything wrapped,
I
Yeah.
mean, quick at some Converse would be insane work. Like, you know how, like, to break fast in a pair of Converse.
See, that right there is where the divide is. 3 games back to back in some Converses. They not doing that these days. As you see, they
Yeah.
love managing. If you, I don't even play in the fourth quarter. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? They love managing during the game. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But you know what? That's what it is. Like the love for the game, the heart, the love in the heart is what the new guys are trying to battle with the love in the heart that the old guys play for, and the point they were trying to make. Because they're like, man, we could lose it. Like this could be gone. Like the ABA, the NBA is not making money when in the late 70s. Like this could be over for us. Like they were trying to make a point.
Yeah.
And I think like they're not understanding like if things would have went wrong with the older players, and if they didn't do all that they could do on the court and play hard like they did, that it wouldn't be a game to play today. And so I think that's the point that they're missing. I think they're just talking about skill for skill. That's why LeBron said Giannis would average 250 points in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? That's why he would make, and he said that they said they would call Kyrie a witch. You know what I'm saying? But what you're missing is the heart to keep going. You know what I'm saying? What they had to walking into Boston Stadium, what they had to endure just to get into the stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like you're missing the point. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I would because I don't know if you watched did you watch the Winning Time, the Lakers show?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. I love that show. Too bad they canceled it.
Yeah, too bad. That was terrible they canceled. They had
Oh man.
ending.
Ja Morant. Y'all just watched it. Y'all watching that game?
I know I was waiting for the Lakers to come on.
That's the game before the Lakers game.
I was waiting for 10 o'clock.
Oh man, John said he throwing the gun signs whenever he want to.
So he just did it again.
Nah, he just hit the game winner.
Oh, he hit the game winner, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I see. Like I said, I want Ja to succeed.
He done been dancing for the last minute and a half. So make a bet on if he gonna do the gun signs at the end of this dance.
Guns or no guns.
Giannis, whoa. Giannis had 35, 17, and 20 tonight.
Oh man, 17 assists,
17 rebounds,
20 assists.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, that was a good shot by Ja right there.
The first NBA player.
Fell on him too.
I know. Took that boy in the paint.
Hated on him.
But that's kind of funny that I just looked at them stats and I was like, shoot, 250. 250 is a little bit of an exaggeration, but now the thing is, if I put Giannis with his physical capability, now the thing is the footwork is like we just discussed the Converse. But if Giannis has the same ability he has in Converse, and then you put him in the 70s and he has to learn post work for real,
and he got to play 3 games in a row.
Shoot, that Giannis with post work, with real post work and a touch around the basket, in trouble.
Yeah, but it's a different makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be tough as nails to to
Yeah.
go up in there and play that many games back to back like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, you know,
Like,
one thing about that too, I feel like there was only 16 teams by the 70s until the merger.
Yeah, it was a light number.
Because I was like, I don't know exactly, because like, and then the thing is, it like the whole like, and then a whole decade, putting a whole decade in a vacuum is one thing and another. Because it's like if I come in the late 70s, that's a fat chance. But if I come in the early 70s, then that's a whole, like, there's a whole generational gap in the
yeah,
70s.
yeah.
Lakers, Knicks, Knicks are running it. Lakers running fast breaks. Boy, Wilt was getting that ball out, and they're going.
Now, if I throw Giannis in the 60s with Bill Russell and Wilt, then maybe if he can hold up, maybe we could. The 250, that's still a stretch.
Nah.
250, and he is joking around, but 250.
Yeah, he definitely was joking.
But if he might could put up some big numbers in the 60s with the athlete, with them type of athlete like you talking about. Like I just said, the plumbers and the milkmen. My back hurting today. I had 200 stops. I'm a Amazon driver right now, so I'm pretty much a mailman too. It's not healthy on the body running around all day.
Yeah.
But, so imagine in an NBA game after running around all day and then having to put on Converse. And then, but that's that. But the thing is, I get to use this to parlay and why when I sat up and heard this today, because it made me kind of mad because I've been thinking about this lately because people have been doing this like the last few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Because I think De'Aaron Fox was like, "Oh, I have a bad finger," so they shut him down for the year, and the excuse is, "Oh, I have a bad finger," and it's like, really? When I watched Kobe get his finger dislocated in the game and relocated in the same finger and then play an entire finals with a broke finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's because they just ruled out Tyrese Maxey for the rest of the year because they were shutting him down. And then they use the excuse, oh, he has a bad finger, so that's why he's not going to play anymore. And it's like, you can't seriously sit up and then say something like that while the old heads are literally making the toughness argument.
And that's the other side of it, where they was where the old heads didn't do what they needed to do. The younger guys are not realizing what the older guys had to endure. Okay. And the older guys, they trying to be big brother too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes didn't grow up in your house. They not your real little brothers, man. So they not trying to hear that. But as soon as they heard somebody say, man, they need to shorten the season, 82 games is too much. Here come the older dudes like, what? Man, y'all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all soft. And that made that made the point. Yeah, that misses the point. You know what I'm saying? The point is more of what they endured to make sure that the game was what it is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's what they should lead with every day.
They should be talking about the game that they're continuously growing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they should be talking about. They shouldn't be talking about my era versus your era. It should be like, let's see how far we could take this, because y'all endured so much for us to even have something to take anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's what they should be talking about. But we're in this world, social media world, where we got to butt heads instead of coming together. So this is what it is.
See, you can throw that Anthony Edwards stuff back into that too, because it's like Edwards, you in the room with important people, and then I don't care, I'm this and this and that, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And like he's like, it's like, what is this? How you say? He's like, oh, Anthony, I hear you're pretty good, and they, oh yeah, I'm that good, man, and you know. And he's like,
you know how he do.
Tell him how. And he's like, he asked Kevin Durant. I was like, he's like, oh, more like Kevin Durant. Oh yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm that good. I'm this and that. And it's like, have some respect for your elders, man.
Right.
It's like this is Did you getting an experience that a lot of people would kill to be in?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Like, and then that how that can literally be every older individual's point is you guys are taking, because like they talked about before, there's guys in the NBA that's just there for the check. They don't really love the game. It shouldn't be multiple players currently playing saying that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
true.
mean, this is the battle. You know what I'm saying? This is, like I said, this is the social media world. We don't want to come together. We want to compete. You know what I mean? So I have a good game, a good season. I got to put fuel on the fire of, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are old, and this is what the game's been missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the crazy part about it, man. For real.
The older guys, they fuss about the wrong things. You know, I had to walk from New York to Philly back in the day.
For real. We have self-driving cars now, sir.
That was some of the, some of the hotels, and they didn't have the chartered flights. You know, so it was hot.
Well, you could have probably been turned away from a hotel for being black.
Yep,
man, real talk. So that's they trying to get them to they trying to find common ground on the wrong thing. Like, we don't live in the same worlds anymore, man.
You know what's crazy though is like as a young individual, I was born in 1999, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, when you learn about this stuff in school, they make it seem like segregation and racism and all that was so long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it was literally 34 years before I was born that all of that was going on. That's not that long.
No,
I'm 20. Not. I'm 26 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that. All that stuff is just now getting to where it's okay. That's a long time ago now. It's just getting there. That was new. That was like they existed in that time period. Like I don't know what I haven't got too many from Granddad. I haven't asked him that far about that period of time. But it's like I don't know what you've seen, but I could only imagine with some of the stuff going on now what you could have possibly seen back in the day.
Well, I mean, we didn't have a lot of resources back then. You know, you had 3 TV stations. You didn't have any, computers, none of that stuff. So, and nobody had a phone, other than a house phone, big old thing you take,
Yeah.
I remember
right. The rotary.
Yeah. I think, is that still over Granny house? Or is it
she do got a rotary phone over there.
So, some people were stuck back then. The information didn't move that fast. So, it just wasn't as proliferated as it is now. So, they could kind of tailor, the news stations could always tailor how they wanted you to get the information, what you heard, and they, played down a lot of this stuff. You didn't get a lot of, reactionary stuff to different things that were going on, civil rights movement and all that, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all them were pretty much enemies at that time,
Okay.
They would only report on them when they did something really big,
Yeah.
And even it had a slant to it,
Right, of course.
Being a peaceful protest we were doing, it became semi-uprising kind of thing. It was all in how they kept language, But yeah, that was, like I said, it was real limited what you could access. So it really wasn't, Walter Cronkite was telling us how to feel and how to think. On CBS News,
Yeah.
Sports centers wasn't no, no CNN, none of that stuff.
Wow. Yeah, that's something to think about right there. That's something to think about. It's crazy because, I was thinking about even with Investtv earlier today. I was like, wow, each page on Investtv is really more like a newspaper page. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just thinking about that. Like it's so the way the social media is today, everybody can do whatever they want to do. And there's so much access and so much news. Like you got to piece together what's true, what's false, what's artificial intelligence. What you know what I'm saying? And you gotta do the right things with your page, man. For real. Like with your page, do the best you can do with your page. That's what I'm seeing now. Like do the best you can do with your page because you can't control what the next person gonna do on their page. For real. And to the point that Pops made, like Walter Cronkite that's where they was getting their information on how to feel from. Now you got millions of people telling you how to feel. For
Right.
real. Like you
Well,
got millions of people telling you how to feel.
Look like that might be the problem.
And the antidepressant the antidepressant medicine is through the roof.
And the inmates are running the asylum now.
Man, like this is so you got to be very careful with what you partake in. And at the same time, you got to have a page. You have to have a page. You have to have a page and saying how you feel. You can't just let everybody else in the world be spewing whatever they spewing. You have to have a page. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because the light, the true light is going to shine through when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? Real talk. Real talk. For real.
But I didn't. You know what? I was like, I'm gonna let that in there. You know what? Because I was like, I was gonna take that somewhere that I shouldn't take it. I was like, I'm gonna leave it alone because I was about to get back on Anthony Edwards and John Morant and Zion. but actually, no, I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it now. So I was like, take from that. I was like, the thing is like there is like, cause thing is with social media and all these things, porn stars and different people have a voice that they probably shouldn't have. Cause I was like, I've been seeing porn stars feel free to speak up about different things now, and it's you don't really. And the thing is, I hate to be that guy because they would get so upset that somebody would say this publicly. But the thing is, when you do certain things, you don't get a voice somewhere now. You lose your privileges. So before they even get, and it's like, and the thing is, unfortunately for them, and I completely empathize with their situations. A lot of them was molested or different things of the sort as a child or different things. But the thing is, when stuff gets messy, they take it to hell. And you don't need those type of people running the narrative. And then that's another problem with Anthony Edwards and John Morant. John Morant's not a problem in this one. I'm gonna leave John. I'm sorry, John. If you ever see this, sorry, John. But to throw Zion in here because he just got ruled out for the season. With people like him who goes and mess with ghetto gaggers on Mariah Mills.
Yeah, he got his crazy life going on with the people that he chose to be with. But same thing you see how it ended up for Bren.
Right. Well, shoot, that was Bren's doing, it seems like.
Hey, you know what I mean? That's what happens when you put. It's like, yeah, I don't want to take banking advice from I don't want to take interior design advice from a porn star. I don't want you in my house like that.
And it's like you can't tell me morality when you do porn. You can't tell me I'm a bad person for not doing this or not doing that. You take advantage. I shouldn't say take advantage of people. You are willing to do anything for the money.
Yeah, but you got to realize, you know what I'm saying? Just and like
Anthony Edwards end up the way Anthony Edwards end up is you go and sleep with somebody that you know is literally doing anything for the money.
I mean, you got to think about it, man. You got to think about it, though. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that are bold enough to show their face and think they're bigger than what they're doing. Okay? But the truth of the matter is those people don't have influence except for over the idiots, which there are a lot of those, but the ones that are actually moving the needles, the ones that are like behind the NBA and behind the country that's doing these things, they got these All of these people are in their offices, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All of these people are in their offices. They just not showing their face.
Yeah.
For real. They're not showing their face. The one that showed her face, and now she got the court battles with Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, they don't show their face. They're like, no, my hustle is behind the scenes. I'm moving I'm moving however I want the NBA to go to the next station I want the NBA to go to. I'm the one making the decision. I'm just
Mm.
making this person say it. I'm not showing my face. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what's really going on. Like, that's something that's been going on from the beginning of time, man.
Mm.
Jerry Buss was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they're all doing it.
Yeah.
They all got their influences and horrible things that they doing behind the scene because it comes with the love of the money, man.
Mm-hmm.
For real, money's not the root of all evil. The love of the money is the root of all evil. For
Mm.
real, that's what people like to leave out. The love. The people that love money, they it's corruption all around them.
Yeah.
For real. It's corruption all around them. For real. And that's just what it is, man. So I like the ones that are bold enough to come on. Yeah, I need to see you. For real. I need to see you because you can't blind attack me like these other people are doing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's all that is. That's all that is. And old girl that's with Zion, we would have never knew nothing about it if Zion was doing what she wanted him to do.
Yeah.
For real. If that was the case, she'd have been behind the scenes because we didn't hear nothing
Right.
about her with him until it was negative.
Right. You're right.
Oh, that's what it is, man. That's what it is.
But you know that, and that's the thing though, is even when it's not negative, there's, and then as professional athletes in this, I see why a lot of people, because like, if you ever been on a Instagram, this chicks will hide they man and they'll post like an emoji over his face. They'll get a picture with, and it's like you
Put the smiley face over his face. Yeah.
because the thing, and then that's the thing. I understand them because all of a sudden now, because everybody's so nosy, everybody needs to know all your business. So
Yeah.
they want to know. So there's people hating on you, trying to see who you date and all sorts of stuff.
Right. They want who you got.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
And it's like we really live in a crazy world right now.
Yeah,
But
it is, man.
maybe
You got,
this is normal for the world. Maybe it just wasn't public.
well, you know what? Like I said, you gotta be mindful of what you partaking in, and you gotta do your best with your page. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yeah.
That's how you conquer it. Because you know what I mean? It all goes back to build the culture and your tribe will find you. It all comes back to that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Build the culture, your tribe will find you. You know what I'm saying? The world is everywhere, man. These people are doing things, it's just unthinkable, horrible things. There's people that are
Mm-hmm.
doing great things, but there's people that's doing horrible things. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta do what you know is right. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta follow your purpose to the victory. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, man. What these people are doing out here, we ain't getting caught up in that mess. We ain't getting caught up in that. That's what I said. Nah, we'll build our own platform. We'll build our own. You know what I mean? And we'll go that way. You know what I'm saying? If we only have one listener, hey, it's still gonna that mustard seed, that mustard seed, it's still gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't
Microscopic.
doing that for stay. All we got to do is stay true.
Mm-hmm.
Stay true, man. That's like, yeah, because it's a crazy world out there, man. And the people who get caught up in that, now you see it though.
Mm-hmm.
Expect you got to be extra careful when you got that melanin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's who is, man. Pop said a lot of stuff in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Malcolm X and them, they wasn't talking about them unless they did something big and it had a slant or a spin to it. You see
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you got this melanated skin, what you're doing is heightened.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing something good, we have to discredit it in some sort of way. If you're doing something bad, we have to exaggerate it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So you control what you partake in,
Yeah.
and you control what you push play on your page. For real. The world takes it, does what they do with it. You know what I'm saying? but the truth is always there. You know what I mean? Like these people, they're doing things that they let the world spin it and that make that the truth. And then they don't even have the backbone. I'm not even gonna say backbone.
Yeah.
They don't have the what's the perfect word for me? They don't have, like with Zion, how he can't clear his name from being caught up with this porn star. He doesn't have the
aura.
I mean, that's still personal.
The pull, or
he doesn't have the love. He doesn't have the love around him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the love around him because when you're alone, it's going to be one or two things. You're either going to say the wrong thing or you're going to be scared to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so we haven't heard nothing from Zion. I mean, he's scared to speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you're alone, but when you have the love around you, love from within, and see, that comes right back to it again. Build the culture in your tribe will find you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no excuse. Whether you have family or you didn't have family, God's going to bring you to your tribe, and he's going to bring your tribe to you. So it's no excuse for you to not have love. The only way you don't have love is if you don't have faith in the higher power. You know what I'm saying? You're not on your path. You need to get on your path. You need to start seeking and finding and executing. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You know what I mean? You can simply be like, every Monday, I'm dedicating time to spend in the Bible or spend time with God, even if I'm just quiet and meditating. 30 minutes on Monday. God is going to take that commitment and that dedication and speak to your conscience. And all of a sudden you can be like, oh man, during this 30 minutes, I can build this. You see what I'm saying? Now God got you on your purpose. And he's going to continue to grow it. And then you're going to realize, wow, I was just spending time 30 minutes on Monday with God. Now I'm spending 24/7. Whether I'm doing good or I'm doing bad, I know that God's with me. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they're missing. They're missing the love. They don't have people that's reiterating the royalty, like, because I call that the royalty. I call that the light in the royalty. When you know that you on your purpose, you're shining and you're royal. You know what I'm saying? And when they don't have the people around them that reiterates that to them and that love, they got people around them like, oh, he can dunk, he can do this, he can do that. They love you for the wrong reasons. When it comes down to somebody that you really need, when you really need somebody, they don't know you. For real. They don't know how to speak to you. Why? Because you don't know you. For real. You got to get on your purpose. For real. Get on your purpose. That's how you cancel all that stuff out. For real. All these young men, they out here, you're either saying the wrong thing or you're scared to say it. You don't have the love that you need around you. Oh boy, is that LeBron down on the ground?
Yep, it is.
Uh-oh.
It looked like something might be a hernia or something.
Oh man, come on. Not the groin again. Doggone it, man.
Nuts.
I hope it's not the nuts.
Minga hit him with a fist, look like.
Oh man.
I would hope it's not the groin and it's just a ball shot.
somebody get kicked out. 20 game suspension. You don't touch LeBron like that. I ain't see the replay yet.
Like to me.
It's like we could take this pretty far with that too, actually. I do got a bone to pick with an NBA player too that I can talk about.
I don't know. It was close though.
Yeah.
It was close. Yeah, he just need a minute. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I've seen him get up from worse. So.
Yeah, man. Boy.
But I do have to, because I gotta send the shot somewhere too, because you remember the Timberwolves and the Pistons got in that fight the other day.
Yeah, man.
And there was a particular individual that participated in the start of the fight that has been talking tough to people all year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been the loudest, been the toughest guy all year. And you know what he did after he got roughed up in that fight? And he cried like a baby.
You talking
And it's
about
like,
who you talking about, Holland?
yeah. It's like, because he was almost abrasive because he always was arguing with somebody, always trying to be the toughest dude. And I'm like, this dude needs to relax. Like,
Hey
it's not
man, people gonna
serious.
realize to stop messing with White Dante, man. Stop messing with White Dante.
Like he didn't even get a hand put on. He didn't get punched or nothing.
Hey, he tried to fight the whole Knicks bench. These are your best friends.
Yeah.
White Dante, man. They better quit messing with White Dante, man. I think he might have some hands, man.
Well, shoot, he abused Michigan that time. Remember that,
man.
He abused U of M that night.
Oh no, Holland, man. Yeah, why was he crying like that?
Only God can tell. But I'm like, are you the toughest guy all year? Everybody you arguing with, everybody you fighting with, and then the one time somebody do something for real, you start weeping.
Hey, he could be one of those crazy dudes who cry while they fight, man. For real. That extra motivation.
Yeah, here's the toughest guy. Always arguing with somebody. Always try to fight somebody, and then
man, hey, Isaiah Stewart was all in there, man. I don't know what he was doing. That other view.
I do got a bone to pick with him too, but I'm gonna let you.
Man, leave him alone, man.
Yeah, you're right. I should probably leave him alone. I was like, shoot, I definitely do not want that problem.
Hey, y'all in Michigan? Sure, he ain't. He'll take the ride. Where he at?
He'll drive to Florida too, though. He'll drive to Florida.
He crazy enough to walk here.
Yeah. But think about him. I don't know what's wrong with him. Like, he care about fighting more than he care about.
Right. Hey, man, y'all in the playoffs, man. Why you walk to Florida? Forget the playoff games. I heard it was a fight.
He might be able to do that.
And it's like, and you know what's funny though is he didn't do nothing when Curry got in his face though.
Oh man, well some people you gotta leave alone. They sent the memo out. You can't hit Curry. That's the golden boy.
So I mean, it's like it's a little like crazy, like dudes crying after the scuffle.
Right.
It's like then you got Isaiah. I feel like he got to stop being a crash out and prove that he can play in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he gonna have to.
The reason he still got a job is because he's young.
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully he can get his mind right, and just do something good. Just get your mind right. Work on your game. Can he do it?
It's because it's like I can't trash. I'm not gonna trash him or nothing, but
I mean, if he could play like Kenneth Faried, he'd be a good backup for Durant.
He'd be pretty much Jalen Durant at that point, though.
I think they might be trying to replace him after this season.
But that's the thing is, like, I mean, somebody I guess might pick him up. Oh, you Pistons that made the playoffs. Maybe you could turn something for us. But with him, it's like they sort of established that, you can't start in the NBA.
Right.
Like, okay, so he can't start. And then when he's coming off the bench, he's still him at that point. He's still an undersized center.
Yeah.
Who can't shoot, even though he wants to shoot. So he's going to shoot threes, but he can't shoot.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to shore up that backup. But yeah, that fight.
So I can't hear.
Can you hear me?
I can hear. I can't hear. I can hear you. I can't hear him.
Oh, you can't hear?
Oh, because it's like in and out, like it'll drop completely while you mid sentence.
Yeah, we'll get it right, man. Sure, I'm about to upgrade all of us some headphones in a minute. Before we start this radio situation, we got to do a little upgrade.
For sure, we can do that.
Yeah, we're gonna get it right.
But
Man, I wanted to I wanted to ask Pops. I know I wanted to ask you about I forgot to do it last time. I wanted to ask about George Foreman, man. Like when he
yeah.
first came into the boxing, what was it? What was it like? Because you know we wasn't around to see it when he first came in, but I always hear people talking like he was the like you ain't trying to mess with him. You know what I mean? R.I.P. to George Foreman, man, for real.
Yeah.
He had a little different kind of personality when he started. You know, I think he hadn't been boxing all that long. You know, then he won the Olympics and won. And he had very few fights, you know, so he was taking on kind of a big bad guy persona, you know, kind of a, you know, not Tyson-ish, but just that, you know, he wasn't really talkative when he was younger, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of just a smoldering kind of guy. You that look, you know, I'm just going, you know, I'm gonna kill you when I get you out here. That's what he was trying to do, you know, hitting you those.
Right.
You know, after he got knocked out by Ali and all that, he started to change his personality a little bit. He got a little bit more talkative and getting more social with people. So he got where he was, you know, fighting 5 dudes in one time. You know, he did that.
Wow.
Just lined up outside the ring, you know, let me knock you out. Next guy come in, let me get you. He's a big bully, you know, kind of thing. So, his transformation is pretty amazing. You wouldn't know the personality he ended up having, you know, to sell all them fryers and everything.
Right.
See that in the early 70s, late 60s, whatever. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's something. That's something. Yeah, I definitely I appreciate that, man, because I wanted to hear a little bit about that. You know.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know too much about it. You know, they always show back the Ali fight and stuff, but you know, I didn't know that he was kind of like whisked into it. And that kind of gives it a little bit more context for me, because to be rope-a-dope like that, you gotta be young. You gotta be young and not that tested. You know what I'm saying? So that yeah, that make a lot of sense, man. That make a lot of sense. And then man, he did sell them grills.
His fights at that time weren't going that long. He was getting people out, you know, 2-3 rounds at the most. And you know, Ali just kind of took him in the deep water and drowned him. You know, it was only 3 rounds, you know.
It was like that was before we knew about CTE, so you could fight every week.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it's a young boxer now, Jared Anderson, who he got beat for the first time after he had probably like 16 first round knockouts. And then, you know, he maybe had a few other fights where it went a couple rounds, but he won them. And he just he had a fight not too long ago that was gonna go the distance, but they got him. You know what I mean? Took him in there, got him. Yeah, man, worked him, knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hopefully he'll come back. I mean, he had one fight since then. He won it, but he was being a little timid. So we'll see. Maybe he'll get it back.
You know, that does change you. You get that one fight that teaches you.
You know, one thing I could say, you know, is how in the UFC somebody will have their prime and they will be unbeatable, the best fighter in the world. But then as soon as they take that one loss, it's never the same again.
Changes.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, sure. As long as John Jones Bones, as long as he don't lose, we good.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind so much if he would lose.
Ah man, he's on a 20+ year run.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
But shoot, after what happened in November, December, personally,
The one loss, yeah. The one loss that he had was because he beat the dude too bad. They disqualified him. And they just got that one took off his record, so he ain't got a loss no more.
That was probably one of the funniest endings to a fight I've ever seen. Because it's like he just boom dog and then
this is what I'm supposed to do. What are you talking about?
They legalized the elbow. What is it? The 12-6 elbow.
Yeah.
So, hey, what are you?
Yeah, man. Well, let's get these picks in. We got these championship Final Fours before we close it out tonight.
Actually, I got a point to make too with it. Actually, in a second,
definitely.
Before we get there, because actually, you know what? I can leave it for the next episode because I get more time to think about it.
That's what I said. Hey, write it down. Don't forget.
It's in the book already. It's ready.
Right. Yeah, that's them cliffhangers right there. We gotta come back to that
because there's a whole because we've talked about a few different topics before, and it's like we'll jump back in the rabbit hole again if I mention
something. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see. Saturday we got first game Florida against Auburn.
Florida.
I think Pops, man, you the only one that got everybody in the Final Four, man. You got all the ones.
That was
well, I was going to say that's kind of this kind of the worst tournament ever because
no Cinderellas this year.
No Cinderellas, and no fun for everybody. The better team always wins.
So who you got, Florida or Auburn?
Ooh. Man, Florida been scaring me lately with some of their things that are big, really.
Those was our original picks. Was Florida would take it all, but I don't know no more.
Yeah, I might be switching my champions actually. We'll see what happens.
I'm with the Gators.
Gators. Who you got, D? Florida or Auburn?
Florida.
Yeah. I think, man. I kind of want to switch up. Is the dude on Auburn? Is his wrist broke?
Nah, he's all right.
He good.
He was just Paul Pearson a little bit.
No way.
He is just
that boy was hurt. Nah, he was hurt, man. When he fell, that mug bent the wrong way. It did. I thought
Paul
it was
Pearson. He was Paul Pearson quite a bit. And I'm not going to talk too much no more about him before I say.
Oh man, but I will say one thing. He said he got the troll of the year.
Yeah.
At halftime, he said that he got hyped up for the game watching Eric Thomas videos. And Eric Thomas is a Michigan State alum. So that's the troll of the year, right? The disrespectful troll of the year. You know what? Just for that, I'm taking Auburn, man. I'm taking Auburn, man. The boy got moxie. He got moxie. I'm taking Auburn.
I will say my dad wasn't that happy when he said that. It wasn't the best sight.
And then the night game, we got Houston and Duke. If Duke pulls out this Houston game, I think this is the only game that Duke could lose, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick Duke, but I think this is the game that they could lose. If they win this game, they win the championship if they win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I know who was refereeing the game. That would be information that'd be valuable.
Yeah, you breaking up a little bit, Pops. You breaking up a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Plugged in.
Yeah.
Don't tell me there's ref problems in college too. because there's already people that is like if I see Scott Foster, I'm like, oh Lord, here this go.
I think it's more of a Duke thing than a ref problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think if they ref it fairly, it's gonna be a very close game.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, one thing I do love that about Michigan State is we get a fair amount of calls, but we also don't get a fair amount of calls too. So it's like we get a fair whistle, and I enjoy that.
Why is everybody from Michigan State going to the portal, man? What's going on?
I literally shied away from.
Oh, okay.
I stayed away for it from. I was about to insult some people, and I don't.
Well, next time. I
think Trey Holloman before the last game.
Again, I was gonna. I've had various opinions on Trey because he was literally the guy I was gonna bring up. Because the other two, don't care. You know,
Booker should have been gone already.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, he got a very embarrassing, like if a whole bunch of people, oh yeah, he can't play, and it's like, it's a 5-star recruit. What you mean he can't play?
Yeah, next time, man, we'll dive in. We'll dive in because I got too much.
We'll have to trade off because I was like, I got 20 things about Mr. Holloman I could say at the moment, but. It's positive now because like I said, if you talk to me on Tuesday, it was really bad, but it's all right today.
Yeah, I want to see by the time we get on here again, I want to see how many people really, let me make sure it's not just clickbait. Let me look over the weekend and see what we get.
Well, the one thing, it was April Fool's on Monday, so
that's what I was thinking.
True. But and somebody got me too. Like, what do they call it? You got Centelled or something like that. Like, because they try to say Hunter Dickinson got another year of eligibility, and I was like, no, he can't come back. He's a piece of trash. But I think that was April Fool's.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was, because he doesn't need to be playing basketball anywhere anymore. He needs to be off the face of this earth. But.
They getting all they can.
I'm gonna stop there because I'm.
So who y'all got? Duke or Houston? Who you got? Duke.
I would say I want to stick with a paper, but I would want to make a personal decision because I know some people who have family on Houston. So I would want to say Houston for that. But my paper says Duke, and honestly, I don't know whether or not I want Duke or Florida on my championship yet. But I should, because you know what? Because thing is, I'm gonna wake up and know who's gonna win when I'm morning on Saturday.
I hear you.
So I'm gonna just roll with Duke because it's the Blue Bloods.
I got Duke winning the chip, man. Who y'all got winning the chip, man?
I had Florida sneaking them, but I don't know if Florida is going to execute to the level they can.
Originally, I had Florida, but I got to switch.
Yeah, and that's where my problem is.
I'm going Duke because I think, I just don't like what I've seen out of the bigs for Florida. They survive that semifinal, they're not going to be.
Do you think they survive Davis Bloom, or what is his name? It's not Davis Bloom. What is his name? Bloom.
Janai Broom?
Yeah, Jabari Broom or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broom.
I'm coming up
to sweep somebody
Broom,
up.
Yeah, I said Bloom. But yeah, I was like, I don't know if I was like, I want Bloom to fail. So, but hey, I'm gonna chill on Bloom. He's not the problem, really.
Yeah.
It's his teammates being 30 years old is a problem for me. That's another topic for another day,
Yeah, he said.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be negative for the rest of
I
it.
said it's a whole team of 6-year seniors.
7 year seniors. Oh, I've been playing since I've been here since I was 18. Or no, I transferred over after, and I was like, they got to do something about that portal, and that's all. We gonna get to it next time.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely got to talk about that.
The shovel is coming out. About to be.
Portal's here to stay, man. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah, it is what it is, man. All right, man. We'll see how it goes till next time, man. I'm gonna go kick my feet up and watch this doggone game. For real. Hey, you never know. We might have to get on here Monday for a piece of the game or something if y'all down for it.
We could do a second half watch along.
I feel it.
Yeah.
All right, then. Yeah, we'll lock it in.
One magic moment.
Hey, no, the magic is done. It's 4-1s. It's magically somebody's cooking the books.
One supposed to be moment. Oh, Cinderella's.
All right, man. I get with y'all. See what we gonna do on Monday.
All right.
All right. Yep. Love y'all, man.
Yep. Much love.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Yep. Later.
All right.
Got it. We got it. Y'all been sleeping on me, I can hear y'all snoring. All these whack rappers got your mind extorted. All these fake hustlers chase what ain't important. I'm the last OG like Tracy Morgan. I'm on a mission, I ain't thinking about you. You ain't grinding with my crew, then I ain't around you. I tell myself I made it lounging in the caddy with a young Tiffany had it showing me what that mouth do. I'm the only one on my level, summa cum laude, but I'm still a rebel. Saw my lane open, I ain't letting off the pedal, ain't conceited, but if you wanna see it, greatness, hello. I hear it in my mama voice, I gotta keep it up. My pop's been working 40 years, it's time to be with us. You can't sleep, you trying to eat or what? Huh? Work out my hustle, got my bank account beefing up, let them know.
Yeah. Yeah.